All right, hello, and welcome to this week's OCC recap, week 7, whatever it is. I don't know. I've got another problem. My monitoring computer appears to not actually even be able to see the stream. I see why. God damn it. Okay, that's fixed. I can hear myself. Danton, say hello.
Hello. I can actually see the stream on Twitch.
Well, I can see some. At the moment, I'm listening to monitoring. Ah, you're still very quiet. So I will up you on the even more. How how loud can I get you? Let's go for the. All right. So try again. I'm listening
Hello.
on delay, so
Can people hear me?
there may be. Oh crap!
Why? What have you done now?
No, it's still really quiet compared to me. It's terrible. All right. And yeah, I will fix that in a second, Gruff. Thank you. So let's go for 24.
Gruff, can you hear
24?
me?
All
Or
right. Try again now.
I was just talking, so I mean that's not a good sign. Hello.
No, well, like as I said, I've got. So at the moment, I'm not listening to the computer I'm connected to you on Discord with. Um, maybe I just have to. Maybe I just have to turn myself down. Yeah, but even that.
Gruff says he can't hear me. I mean, we all know that
I'm going
everything.
to turn you up to 30 decibel multiplier, or whatever.
Yeah, we all know that
Yeah,
everything
we
is
can hear you,
quiet
but you're just very quiet.
compared to you. Yeah, Gruff says it's good.
Oh well, I think that's just going to have to do. Give me a second. I'm changing headphones now. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully that'll. Okay, now I can actually talk to you properly.
Yeah. It was a bit weird talking to you with a delay, but Gruff says it's good, so hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I still think you're a little bit quieter than me, but I mean,
But that is just one of the fundamental laws of nature, isn't it?
yeah, like, but more so than I would like normally. But anyway, fine. Um, let's just get into this. I have the points up. We're doing champs. We're doing the recap from week 7. Yeah, and I have changed OCC.
Yeah, week 7.
So I guess we should start with the first game,
We should try
which.
and blast through it.
Sorry, say again.
We should try and blast through it
Yes,
quickly this time.
quickly. Okay, so the first game is Fëanor and Sons versus Back to Black. So Palladius beat Kilstad 3-1. I wonder. Oh, I just had another idea of how to turn you up for me. Okay, so hopefully now I'll be able to hear you a bit better as well. All right. So who bet on Palladius to beat Kilstad?
So first of all, it was worth mentioning that we talked about this last week, that the Dark Elves winning puts them in a really, good position now in terms of.
I mean, they were
They
already
were
ahead,
already
right?
in the lead, but this is a huge win for them to keep them on track.
Yeah.
So most people did actually bet for them. I didn't, but that was, I think, more a case of me wanting them not to win.
I have a feeling I did the same thing. I think I picked maybe even a draw, hoping that it.
You went for a draw, yeah, and Javelin and myself went for the Vamps, but everyone else went for the Dark Elves, except for Kinroth, who's put a poop icon,
So
which I don't
I assume means he was late. He was too late to vote on
probably
it.
split. Yeah.
So Berto.
So yeah, Berto, um, Cooley,
Yep.
Cormac,
Yep. Not you.
not me. Not Ethel either. I don't think he bet. I think he
Oh,
missed.
he's missed another week.
Yeah, Palladius obviously bet on himself.
Yeah.
Um, Galentio and Spider.
And as you can see, there's now color coding on the weeks. So leaders will be green and people dropping behind will be red with what's it in between. All right.
Top three are green, I think.
Yeah. So if you're leading, so it's basically the brightest green should be the person who's in the lead, and then it's a gradient that will go down to red for the person who's losing, with white in between, in the middle. So it's not specifically the top three, but 36 and 37 are close enough to 39 that they still look pretty bright. Yeah. But if Carmack was on 39 and the next was 29, it would still be, the difference there wouldn't be three green ones. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
All right, and I also noticed Mr. Clean, the movement 4 vampire, is still on Kielstad's team.
He's clearly not getting rid of it.
I don't know, like he's got another elf team coming up as well, I think. So maybe this is the week.
I mean, I think maybe part of the reason he's keeping it is because it has tackle, right? And as well as it being an Edge 5 gazer.
Yeah, but he's in spiral expenses with it, and he wouldn't be if he wasn't. So
I mean, I haven't actually checked if he's put a 3. But I'd be surprised if he carries on with this team.
I actually have a window open in OCC already.
Yeah, because the result, I mean, the decisions threads are up. I've already put a 3 for next season.
But you should play on, right? There's a chance that enough people drop out that almost anyone will be in. You could win.
I mean,
you
I
could win
would,
next season.
The team is just too screwed up.
Okay, fair.
It's just not fun to play them anymore.
Yeah, that is a problem. All right. Anyway, well, we'll get on to that in a second. The next game is Balls to the Waller against Carmack, which
A draw, wasn't it?
was... Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. It was a draw, yes. As you said, 1-1. I think Carmack's description to me was that he was getting screwed by Balls, who fouled pretty much continuously, 2 send-offs, and only 11 armor breaks, but I think he got out removed, if I remember rightly.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty logical strategy for what Bulls needed to do.
Actually, Balls only got 3 KOs, and Carmack got 3 KOs and 3 casualties, but maybe they happened at the wrong time.
I mean, we know that Carmack likes to complain.
Yeah. Also, it must be said, I think Carmack had 11 players, and Balls obviously could take a little bit of attrition, being on 13. Okay, who went for a draw, though?
Well, we've already established that Carmack is a genius, and he bet on himself drawing. So there you go.
He always bets on himself drawing, though.
Well, we've talked about this before. It's
Yeah.
a lack of self-belief. And then the only other 2 people who bet on the draw were Berto and myself.
Nice. I guess you're point. All right. So the next game is Brilliant Green against Javelin's Wolves of the Calla, the massive Orc team against the Necro. I have a feeling this will be not a surprise that Brilliant Green won 1-0 against a slightly beleaguered Necro team.
I mean, I think it was that clear cut or that obvious that the Orcs would just win it, because Necro typically, Orcs are a good matchup for Necro, generally speaking. But yeah, I mean, the fact that the Necro has lost a few key players obviously is not good for them. But a lot of people did actually go for the draw.
I mean, it looks like the Orcs have lost a few players as well, right? But I think the Orcs have lost. I think the Necro have lost more important players. So anyway, who actually went? Go on. Who went for
Four,
Green
four
Green?
people, four people went for the Orcs.
Yeah,
Carmack again. This is,
genius. Yeah.
yeah. He's obviously drifting into the genius territory. Kinroth, Palladius, and Gruff. Big round of applause for Gruff there.
Well done, Graf. Actually betting as well on a
Yeah,
division that isn't your own and
not
everything.
only, not only betting, but actually getting one right.
Is that how badly he's doing? Gets sympathy.
I mean,
Congratulations.
he's not helping himself by probably missing out on a lot of bets, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's not doing great.
All right, so next is Gimlick against Dalibor, and that was 2-1 to Dalibor. May have surprised
Yeah.
some people, I think.
This is obviously Palladius, obviously, overjoyed to see this one because I think Gimlick was one of his main rivals, and Dalibor has done him a big favor now.
Yeah, I think Dalibor's quite far back, or was quite far back
Yeah,
into this.
Dalibor is too far back, I think.
Yeah,
But Gimlick was well in the running, and this is a big setback for him.
yeah. And a draw from Carmack as well means pretty much all of Palladius's,
He's,
you know,
we could actually have a second Dark Elf team winning OCC.
I mean, it's a season with two or even two Dark Elves in champs. It's if there was going to be one, it's pretty likely, right?
Yeah.
But I don't see anything interesting in terms of death or anything else. So, who bet on Dalibor?
Only two people. Jesus Christ, Carmack again. Going for the clean sweep this week,
Yeah.
and Berto.
Oh, I thought I would have. What? Went for a draw, thinking I was clever. No. So
Yeah.
far, no points for me.
No, actually, I think you did. You go for a draw? I think you went for a Gimlick.
I must have talked myself out of it. Normally, I go for Dalibor. Okay,
Oh.
and the last game of the week is Kinroth against Iltanir, the one of the Elf-Offs of the week. The High Elves managed to score 2 and the Wood Elves scoring 2, both with one-turners. Oh no, Kinroth didn't have a one-turner. One elf
And
died, one
these
MNG.
were the other two main. These are the other two main rivals in the championship race. So they're probably both displeased with the draw.
Yeah, and the Wood Elves scoring both touchdowns on the natural one-turner.
And the other move up, Thatcher got killed.
Yeah. I was about to mention that, but yeah, that's a big loss. Maybe less of a big loss when you've already got an Atty. But
I mean, having two catchers like that is obviously great.
yeah.
But it'll lower his TV a bit. But yeah, it's one of his better pieces.
Yeah. And does it mean it might mean he has 11 players coming into the game against Carmack, I think. But quick look at the table. Palladius, as we said, is now 4 points clear of Iltanir. Although I think maybe we should use Football 2 because I think that Spike is missing a game.
Have they played each other?
What, Palladius and Carmack? Yeah, they were the first week.
No, Palladius and Iltanir.
Palladius and Iltanir. I don't know. It's either going to be no and no. Yes, they have. They must have played already. All right. So Palladius, pretty close. He's like 4 points ahead of everyone else. Yeah.
So what are his last two?
His last two games are Brilliant Green and Wolves of the Cala.
Okay, so yeah, one of those games on paper is easier than the other one.
Yeah. So maybe he hasn't actually won it yet. But you're suggesting that the chances of someone catching him when he's already 4 points ahead, and you believe that he'll win one of his other games.
I mean, I think if he manages to come out with a result against Brilliant Green, then he's definitely odds on to
I
you
mean,
know.
if he wins against Brilliant Green, he's basically won, right? 4 points
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Even if he gets a draw against Brilliant Green, then I think he's still in a good shout to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
If he loses against Brilliant Green, then I think it gets a bit more interesting.
And Iltanier and Carmack, who are the two next teams, are playing each other this week. So he's only really got one team to contend with, and it's going to be the winner of that game.
Yeah.
Because Kinroth is too far behind, and everyone else obviously is far behind. And then I guess there's the race to not get demoted.
Kinroth is on. How many points behind is he?
So he's behind Palladius. He's 7 points behind.
All right, so you can't catch him.
No. And Gimlick's 8. So basically, it's between Carmack and Iltanier to catch up to him, but it's not looking very likely. They're relying on Palladius dropping some points. Even a draw, as you said, is maybe not enough. But then there's up to 4th place gets to stay up, right? So at the moment that's Kinroth, but he's only a point ahead of Gimlick. And 2 points ahead of Papanar. Oh no, sorry, 3 points ahead of Papanasti. And Dalibor, who are both on the same points, so they could still stay up with some last wins.
Yeah. By the way, we didn't mention who bet on what in Kinroth against Iltanier. Only 2 people went for the draw.
Oh, okay. Who was that?
Palladius and Ratamo, who's not even on your table.
Oh, I'm sure that's not gonna break everything. I'm sure everything will be fine.
We can just ignore Ratamo.
I'm gonna add him.
I don't think he's in contention for anything.
Well, clearly not if he's only got 1 point, because that'll be the first point he gets, right? All right. There is Ratamo's 1 point. Wait a second. Can I do this? I wonder if that worked. I don't know if that worked. We're about to find out. But I guess no one can actually see that because I've clipped the bottom off the thing. So
It's fine. Just leave it as it is.
it won't take long. Look. Done. All right. So Ratamo has a single solitary point, which makes Gruff look like he's doing really well.
Exactly. This is all for Gruff's benefit.
And the questions of who is doing a 3. Javelin is actually staying. Javelin has picked 1. Brilliant Green also 1. Iltanier a 1. Gimlick a 1. Those are the only results we have so far from champs.
Okay.
All right.
This week's fixtures.
This week's fixtures. So the first game of the week, oh no, that's next week, is Brilliant Green against Fire Northern Suns. So Brilliant Green are coming into this game on 2040. Loads of bank, 13 players. Less killy than they came into champs, but still pretty good. Against Palladius, who will be getting some inducements by the looks of it. Maybe not. Palladius got 11 players, so he will be on at least 1900. So he gets 100k of inducements, but he is only on 11 players against a Killy Orc team.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't take a wizard. So I guess he could. I guess it depends how he's going to approach this. If he's kind of content with going for the draw, or if he's going full on to win it.
I mean, he should 100% be going for the wizard, right? He should be.
The wizard is obviously if you want to win the game, then it's what you take. But I mean, there is an argument to say, maybe just go for a draw and then focus on not taking as much damage and win your last game. But you're better off trying to win this, because if you win this, you're basically a champion.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely going to go for the win, isn't he? And
he should do. Yeah.
I've actually gone for a draw. That might be partly out of optimism that there might still be a
Yeah.
competition to come back to next week.
No, a draw is definitely possible.
Hmm.
I'm going for the Orcs because again, it's a good matchup for the Orcs generally. And it would make the last week a lot more exciting if the Orcs do win it.
I mean, there's always opportunity for the Orcs to just straight out murder the Dark Elves.
Yeah.
All right, so next is another Bash versus Elf game. BB3 delayed until 2023 versus the Silver Lords of Outmel. That's the Bulls' Nurgle team, who only lost a Rotter in that last game. Well, and he was MNG'd, in fact. So 13 players,
Well, look, we
1850.
have we have Palladius in the chat saying if you're playing elves, you
Yeah,
always play to win.
yeah, I totally. I mean, basically, or alternatively, if you're the kind of player who plays to win, you pick to play elves. Anyway, you pick elves as the team you want to play, right? Because they can always just win, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, there are games. I mean, this actually came up before, right? Palladius played Kinroth, I think, last season, where they were both already qualified.
mhm.
Uh, and Kinroth sort of didn't really play Blood Bowl to win, and Kinroth did. Oh, sorry, and Palladius did. But maybe that was a situation where he didn't have to play to win.
I
There you go.
find it really difficult not to. I find it really difficult to not play trying to win. There's just something about I naturally find it very difficult to protect my players. I find it much easier just to actually try and score all the time. Um, so anyway, next game is Silver Lords of Batman. So they've got 1990, so they're giving away inducements, um, and they have 12 players to Bulls. Not, oh yeah, no, it is. It's 150 inducements, which I think for Bulls. No, he can't afford two bribes, unfortunately. Um, I actually went for Gimlick on this one. Is this maybe more like a draw?
I mean, the vast majority of people went for Gimlick. Um, I think on paper his team. I mean, there's a reasonable amount of tackle here, but yeah, draw is not out of the question. I mean, the Nurgle could just destroy them with fouling. You never know.
Yeah, that is almost certainly Bulls' game plan. No, I'm gonna stick with Gimlick. I think he's gonna win, right? All right. Next is Kinroth versus Kielstad. Um, Kielstad's still at 1920, which means he hasn't fired his movement for vampire yet, and he's only got on 11 players at 1920. So uh, he's giving away inducements, and he's only on 11 players. I think.
I mean, I think these two teams played at least once before, and if memory serves, Kinroth won it reasonably comfortably.
Yeah. So Kinroth's coming into this game with 17-10 team, which means he's getting 210 TV inducements, which I guess is a wizard and a babe, right? Um,
I've
and
gone
yeah,
for
like elves generally against vampires are better, and this elf team, even though it's looking a little bit beaten up, I would still expect to beat the vampires fairly. Oh,
so,
actually, he's missing his movement 9 catcher, but it's still a lot faster than the vampires, right?
and having a wizard as well,
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah. Score, wizard, win. That's the plan, isn't it? Or yeah, turn into a shootout. All right, next game is Carmack's Sabertooth Vagabonds against Ilsnir's Garden of Even. And as mentioned, these are the two teams really remaining in the playoff race behind Palladius.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
massive, massive game. I
yeah,
mean, basically, these two teams, regardless of what happens in Palladius's match, both of these teams need to win to have a chance.
and Carmack is missing his agility for tackle ball
Ooh,
carrier, who
that's
also
a
is
that's
only sure hands, right?
it's a huge piece to be missing in this match because
Yeah,
not only in terms of carrying the ball, but also like defensively, this is like his sweeper, um, who'll be like massively missed in that role as well.
yeah. Carmack, he's more or less, I think, Carmack's secret weapon. It's not so much that he kills opponents; it's that he has an effectively agi 5
Yeah,
tackle sweeper to hit the ball wherever you put it. Or
exactly. Is it just MNG or is it
yeah, I
Neo?
think it's just MNG. Yeah, it is. So that does put Carmack at 1760 because of loners. Um, so 50k above Iltner if Iltner's got a full team. He does not. So Carmack's getting 120k of inducements. Yeah, it isn't very much. Does mean Iltner's only got 11 players, but he does have a natty. Actually, the majority of people have gone for a draw on this.
I'm the only person who's going for Iltner, and I'm definitely still going for
I am
Iltner.
very surprised. So Carmack has been talking like down or up this game. I don't know which way to put it. For a few weeks now, and basically he's convinced he has no chance at all against this. I'm surprised that he went for a draw rather than Ilsner, frankly.
I mean,
Um,
literally the only. I mean, not the only, but his probably his main weapon against this is the Tentacles Warrior. If he can, get hold of some elves at a key moment, um, and obviously the Claw Pommer to try and murder some of them. But yeah, to me, the lack of sure hands is a big problem for him.
Obviously, the elves have strip ball,
Yeah,
and there is a tackle bomber. So yeah, I assume he's going to get heavy usage.
I
What
mean,
what do
yeah,
you get for 120k and he's got 140 bank as well, so he could splash out. It's a really important game. It's definitely worth spending money on. Are there any
not
solutions?
not a huge amount you can really get. I mean, maybe a wizard.
Is the idea of getting Lou Grip Whip Arm insane?
Doesn't have sure hands, does it?
Yeah, Lou Grip has short hands.
Oh, he has sure hands.
Yeah,
No, well, it's definitely not in. No, it's not an insane shout. No,
and
I've I've taken him before. He's actually not bad.
yeah, and strength 3/10 is actually another weapon against strength
Yeah,
2 catchers. Not It's not
yeah,
that bad.
it's a decent shout given the fact that his ball carrier is not there.
I think he's cheap as well. I think he's 150.
Yeah, he's not expensive.
Um, and so it means you've got a bench, which allows you a bit of fouling as well, maybe.
You have dodge as well.
Um, no, I don't think he does have dodge, unfortunately. But yeah, it's an uphill one for Carmack. I I am surprised. I went for a draw, partly out of hope. I think because I like Carmack and I want him to do well. But I don't see him getting a win out of this. I'm amazed so many other people have gone for a draw rather than Iltner winning. I guess it shows the amount of people think that Carmack is a good player, or just don't look at the team matchup at all. I don't know.
Idea. I mean, yeah, I'm also surprised. I went for Iltanier because in the matchup, I just think he's a much stronger team.
Hmm. Even the bot thinks Iltner is going to win this. Um,
By a
anyway,
lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
by a lot, exactly. By enough that it's worth mentioning. And so the last game of the week is Wolves of the Kala against Darkside Evolution. So Javelin's uh, very unremarkable, completely beaten up Necro team. And in fact, Javelin's one remaining Wolf is also missing, leaving him with a good Flesh Column and a good White and a good Ghoul and then some block
Yeah.
players.
This is the nightmare scenario when you're playing Necro in a long term league like this.
I'm amazed that
That's
Javelin's still playing on. Frankly, this
the Necro is such a good team when you have all your positionals, but when you start losing key positionals, it just falls apart very quickly.
yeah, even more so in 2020. But yeah, in this version, it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I played a NAF tabletop tournament last weekend in Cork.
Oh yeah, how'd it go?
It went quite well. I took Dark Elves, and I finished second out of 28 people.
Nice.
3 wins and 2 draws. But I went with what I quickly saw was I went with a build that included the Apo, and yeah, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, but
It's
like
just the Apo is just so shit in the new rules.
I've been to tournaments where the NAF where you don't roll injury, you just automatically, the APO counts as an automatic badly hurt. Um, uh, in the old rules, I don't know if that is still something that might happen at some point in the future, but
I think most tournaments, would make you roll the casualty. I mean, especially in this case, they were um, like registering deaths and in terms of bonus points and things like that. So,
hmm.
don't know what's happened. Your stream has
Yeah,
died
I was
for
about to
me.
say I think I've lost connection, but I still hear you fine. So
Yeah,
we've got the
yeah.
internet fine.
Oh,
Some
it's back now. Oh, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
I
back now.
think I think Twitch might have just dropped, but
Which, which,
because everything else is connected fine,
yeah.
which is just weird. You haven't
It is.
gone robotic, but it's not like
No, no. Both of us have our connections are okay. I think it was just
yeah.
Twitch. Twitch just blipped. But yeah, this tournament they were counting casualties, um, and things like deaths. So appos were, being used normally.
And
Uh,
Ratimo is actually here, and he is very happy that I gave him a point and also added him to the list. So
yeah.
so it's worth doing these little things sometimes. Uh,
Um,
yeah,
so yeah, I was just gonna say that the I went for Dalibor because I just think, a his he's probably in my mind probably a slightly better coach, although Javelin's a solid coach. And his team is just in way better shape.
I mean obviously yeah, it would be hard for any team to be in worse shape than that Necro team. And Javelin's going to get a whole heap of inducements as well, but I don't. Inducements are generally in this system pretty poor and not worth it, right? So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. All right. So and yeah, pretty much everyone's gone for Dalibor. One person's gone for a draw, uh, Galentio, and one person has gone for Broccoli. Has gone for Javelin. All right. So let's quickly get on to your division, Division 1A. Um, let me get Spike in the right place as well. Where's Spike gone? There's Spike. 1A. All right, and so the first game of the week is, as always, Kunxian against Ant-Man. And as Galentio said, maybe this is the end of the Ant-Man draw meme with 2-0 to Kunxian. I don't think that's necessarily the end of the draw meme.
I mean, it's quite likely his team just got clawed to death.
Yeah, I mean that's how this team works, right? Kunxian actually got less blocks, but 17 armor breaks instead of 11, and 3 casualties and a death. Unfortunately, 2 SPP Chorf died. Nothing too serious.
Everyone's always sad when a chorf dies.
Yeah. And amazingly, the armor bust niggled strength up a blodge hobgoblin has not got any more damage.
It's one of my proudest achievements was I gave it, I think, either the armor bust or the niggle. I can't remember which one.
I think it was the armor bust. 'Cause I think the nigger was kind of recently. Oh wait,
So
no. Oh, you've played them recently, haven't you? Have you played? Have you
no,
you
no,
played
I
them this
played them
season?
first game of the season. I played them.
Yeah. Um. Anyway, who went for a Kunxian win? Was
Not
it?
many people.
Oh wow,
Only Palladius and Kinroth.
wow. That surprises me. Gladius and
I mean,
Kinroth.
most people, were trying to keep the draw meme alive.
Yeah. Me and Carmack and Berto actually went for Ant-Man. Actually winning a game, which was foolish of us, obviously.
Yeah, could
Um,
happen.
all right, so the next game is Crunky Chops' Serial Sinkers, the Vamp team, against Spiders, Lizard, Orca, Cola, Man, Guzzler things, however you say that word. And Spider actually won with his horrible beaten up team.
Well, he beat me the week before, so he's on a roll.
Yeah. Um,
And you actually bet on him, so it's not
yeah.
didn't surprise you.
I am surprised that so few people bet on Spider because, like, it's slower bash teams that normally Vampire's good against, and this is not a slow bash team, right? You know, Lizards are a bit just fast enough. That the movement eight skinks really helps. And also Lizard coaches are pretty used to having people trying to sack them, so they're usually slightly better at protecting the ball than players who are just used to building a cage and forgetting about it. Weirdly, because obviously strength two ball carriers. Does that make sense? Anyway, me, I get a point. Hurrah! Who was the other
You,
person?
well, obviously Spider bet himself.
Ah, okay. Oh no, I gave myself 2 points rather than giving myself 1 point. That's fine at 1 point. There we are. That's fixed. Okay, that's better. Glad I caught myself there. That would definitely have been something the Spider would have mentioned and brought up, I'm sure. Uh, okay,
You are,
anyway.
yeah.
So the next game is your game against JJ.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about this, or would you just like us to carry on and look at the betting?
I'm trying. I was just trying to remember what the hell happened. The only thing I remember is, I mean, obviously, there was a lot of chorfs murdering humans going on. But I do remember there was, kind of a key turn. But you often talk about when is a good time to use the wizard, and I kind of came to a decision that I needed to use it relatively early to have a chance. Otherwise, I just was not going to have a team.
Yeah, the
I
old
mean,
the old the old fear of the wizard being
the
useless
old,
because
yeah.
you've run out
There's
of
no point.
players.
Exactly. There's no point hanging on to it if you've only got 4 players left on the pitch. So there was a kind of a good opportunity in the first half where his chorfs were all kind of over on the left, and he had a cage. The kick was quite short, so he was forced to cage up on the right, and there was a 5-man fireball that I could do with like half of his team separated, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So if I high rolled the fireball, then basically, it was almost a win for me. But obviously, the fireball not one player over, and that was that. I mean, I still think I would have done it. I'd do it again in the same situation because his team was just way better than mine, and I needed to kind of high roll the situation like that to
Yeah.
to have a chance, and didn't work. So yeah, the inevitable, just demolition derby ensued, and he won 2-1.
I think the rest of the division will be quite happy with the players that you removed, though. You
Yeah,
killed.
actually, so that's the other thing. I mean, I had a wizard and a bribe, and so I did the first opportunity I got to foul. So I took a foul on a chore for like turn 1 because he put me into receive first, I
Yeah.
think. Um, and he so yeah, I first foul did nothing. Second foul, I blitzed his claw bomber, gang fouled it, killed it. Apo dead. And I think I had to use the bribe there. And then, yeah, fouling didn't really work after that. So it was a great start in terms of the fouling. But that's all it did.
I mean, you killed his dirty player as well, which
30
two.
player. I think his 30 player might have been the wizard. It might have been the only thing the wizard did.
Oh, okay. And whereas obviously you lost your block thrower, you got another move bust on your lineman. I'm guessing that you're going to hold on to him for the last game or
No,
two of the season.
I think I sacked him.
Oh, okay. Poor Liam the Cripple and his brother Liam the Cripple have both been removed from the team.
Yeah.
And 2 MNGs. Okay. Although you did get a couple of level ups. So, you know.
I did, and actually, we're going to talk about one of those in a minute.
Oh. Exciting.
Not terribly, but
No.
yeah. I have a little bit of a decision to make.
All right. All right. So anyway, the next game is Lehman Russ and his
Oh, wait,
Heisman boys. Sorry, betting. Yeah, of
Actually,
course.
only 2 people actually went for the Chorfs, and again, it was Faladius and Kinroth.
Palladius and Kinroth. I've put it in alphabetical order now, I think. No, I haven't. No. Why is it not in alphabetical order? Oh, you can't see that. It is in alphabetical order. Of course it is. You can't see what's below. Need to give myself markings so that I can tell. So, it's going to break everything. Damn it. Oh, there we go. That. All right, fine.
I mean, yeah, Ratamo is the only one who's not in alphabetical
No,
order.
Ratmo's not in the alphabetical order, so I added him to the bottom. And there's more names below, which you can't see. But because they're direct, there was like one gap, which I filled up with Ratmo. And then there's me messing around with other things. I thought they were not in alphabetical order, but they are. It's fine. All right. And I can't look at them because looking at them would change what's on the screen, and that will show up. So anyway, next game is Lehman Russ Heisman boys against Silfwinds Red Riding Wood, and Lehman 1-2-1.
Yep. I mean, orcs generally, I guess, of all the elves, the woodies maybe can cause them the most problems because of the speed. But still, they have a lot of tools to deal with elves at this TV.
There was quite a bit of adjustments because quite a few loner players at least. So the elves had 5 loner linemen as well as Eldril and Willow.
Willow's a bit of a strange pick.
I like Willow as for woodies. She's cheap and you can stick her on the line. So it's good for, keeping your own players alive, basically. Obviously, it's less good when you're getting a bunch of loners. But, a strength 4 sidestepper and a tree on the LOS is actually, not that easy to deal with for most teams, right?
Yeah, but the orcs have a lot of strength and guards. So.
Yeah, fair. But do they want that guard to get hung up on Willow or the tree? Will they get much benefit from punching Willow in the tree?
I mean, I'd rather stick loners on the LOS and have Eldril.
Yeah, I guess. Well, they had Eldril as well.
Or Eldril and I don't know.
Well, they had let's assume they had Eldril and a wizard and 150k left over. That's what
Yeah.
That is the point where Willow is a good choice, right?
Debatable.
You'd rather have another Apo and a Babe or something.
Maybe. Just to Apo, to keep, for example, his war dancer, who I think he had his war dancer MNG'd, did he?
Yeah. The nickeled one.
Could have been good to maybe try and keep it in the game.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. But anyway, who bet on the Heisman boys to win this one?
4 people. Carmack.
The oh so clever Carmack.
Yeah. Braculi.
Sorry. Yeah.
Myself.
Yep.
And Javelin.
Cool. Ethelred still yet to score a point this week. Oh, I guess he this is a week he missed maybe.
I don't think he's. Yeah, I haven't seen his name anywhere. I don't think he bet.
Yeah. All right. So the next game of the week is the last game of the week in this division, and that's Swedo against Excalibur. And Swedo won 2-1 with his Undeadliest Cuz against the Captain Badrock Raiders. Horrible, massive orc team. Pretty impressive actually for this not that massive undead team to beat this. I think either shows some good luck or
I mean,
play.
out of the two of them, I think Swedo is the better coach.
Yeah, I agree. The
But
Orcs did have 2 players sent off, so maybe that went some way towards it.
Yeah.
But I can't really see anything too obviously. Swedo's team is not cheap either. He's on 200 TV actually. But anyway, so who bet on Swedo? I went for a draw. I think I went for a draw, thinking it was it was only due to his good coaching that they'd actually get that type thing.
Yeah, most people went for the draw. 3 people went for Swedo. It was Braculi, Kinroth, and Gruff.
Broculi, Gruff, and Kinroth. Cool. Yeah, Kinroth doing very well, as well as Fladius and Carmack. Not much to report on the
Well, Javelin's ahead of Fladius.
yeah. But I mean, for this week, Fladius has done well.
Yeah, he's caught up.
Anyway, not much to report from this game. Not many. No injuries. No even MNGs for either team. And that is all the games that were played.
So the table.
So the table. Hatricola is 2 points ahead of Kunxian. And then another 3 points ahead of Swedo. And then Ant-Man another point behind. And you're yet to win your game that you're desperately hoping for.
Yeah. 2 chances left to win a game. Let's see if it'll happen. I'd say this week might be slightly better chance than next week, but we'll see.
Okay, so talking of this week, let's have a look at this week's games. So first up is Red Riding Wood against the Bedlam Bucks. So the team with loads of claw against the AV7 team.
With a tree.
Where are we? So Kunxian is 1910 at the moment. He actually got a bit of bank.
Well, he has lost a few players, hasn't he?
Yeah, he needs to buy. Well, he should just buy a goat at least, right, to get rid of the bank blow.
Yeah.
Because his TV is going to be 60 higher if he.
It's definitely not worth rebuying the Mino.
Oh, maybe he was saving up for the Mino. Maybe you're right.
But I think that would be a mistake.
It would be a mistake, but it would also be exactly the kind of thing that I think he'd do.
I mean, yeah, you can understand having like a very leveled up Mino that you're keeping, but you don't want to be introducing a rookie Mino.
A frenzy mighty blow against Wood Elves is actually not terrible.
Yeah, but at this TV, you don't want against Wood Elves. You don't want a piece that's a liability.
And when I say against Wood Elves, it's going to be against a lot of loner Wood Elves mostly. This team is actually at 1560, getting 4 loners.
Yeah.
So they're also going to get Wizard and Eldril again.
A lot of people betting on the Elves because of the matchup.
Yeah, I don't know which way did I go. Yeah, I went for the Elves.
Yeah, I'm the only person who's gone for a draw.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I do think that's not very likely.
You never know.
I mean, it's going to be either the Chaos murder a bunch of elves, or slightly more likely the elves run around with the ball, and letting loners and star players getting punched.
Well, both things could happen.
Both things could happen, yeah. Could. Indeed. All right, so next is Hatricula against Undeadliest Cuz. Um, another horrible bash team for Swedo to face.
But like you said, I think everyone will be quite happy that his only claw Palmer is dead,
Yeah,
thanks to me.
indeed. He still does have two Claw Mighties, though, right?
Yeah.
And he had enough money to replace the missing Chore straight away. So he's actually still at 14 players, which is ridiculous.
It's still a very solid team. And, I did kill a dirty player, but he still has two of them.
Yeah. But they are also the leveled up dirty players. So, it's always a bit harder to foul with them than just a Hobgoblin.
Well,
Only
one
dirty
is
player.
a kicker. I mean, I quite like that he's kind of, made one the kicker and the other one a wrestle. So you put one on when you're kicking and the other one when you're attacking.
Okay, and it might be so. There's 20k a bank blow, but Swedo is also on 14 players, and his TV is higher. I would try and be the lower TV team.
So you'd actually sack something.
Well, you don't want JJ to be getting a bribe now, do you? He could. So you need to sack one player for JJ to not be getting a bribe. One zombie, and then JJ can't get a bribe unless JJ fires something as well.
Unless he doesn't, I don't know, what's JJ Stadium? He doesn't have a bribe stadium.
Swedo has a damned Andrew McLeod ghoul who has got an Agi up. So he now has two Agi up ghouls. Don't think that was there last week.
No.
Wait, so you're saying who's got what's JJ got as a stadium?
I mean, just in case he has the bribe stadium.
Anyway, no, he's got the right. He's got the security gate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, sacking the zombie and getting rid of the 20k bank denies the bribe, then it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it will. If he does that, yes. In fact, he doesn't even need to get just sacking one zombie will stop JJ from getting a bribe.
Yeah. So I had gone for JJ win, but I'm actually going to change my result to a draw. I think a draw is quite likely. No one has gone for Swedo.
Yeah. I'll stick with the draw. I went for a draw originally, and I'll stay with that. I still think it's plausible. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to go for Swedo. Well, he's got two, actually 4 players. He should be able to score, right? Lol. All right. So next is the Lizard Orca Man Cola Guzzlers.
Can we just just a quick petition? Maybe we need to start a petition just to ask Spider when Blood Bowl 3 comes out. Could he please, have a team name that's not quite so awkward?
I think it's kind of funny. I kind of like it, but it is horrible to say out loud.
Each their own.
He's even got a bench now.
No way.
2 fresh sources.
Yeah.
But 2014.
I think it's safe to say my team is more beating up the Spiders now, and I thought I'd never say that.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. That is partly because Spider's team has died, so a lot of the injuries have been replaced with fresh, non-injured players, which may not be the best way of getting rid of those red crosses. But he is against the Captain Badrock Raiders, who are still giving him 500 TV of inducements.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think this is a good matchup for Spider.
Yeah, having the inducements and everything. I did actually pick a draw.
The way that they play, like Spider is a very aggressive coach, and Excalibur is much more passive. So I think that will kind of be to Spider's advantage.
All right, I'm changing my vote to Spider. You've convinced me. Um, hmm. He won't be able to get the one turn, but he will have a wizard and Slibley. Maybe even Morg. Probably not. But anyway.
You say he won't be able to get the one turn. I mean, he only needs to remove one of those stand firm pieces.
No, he needs
And
to remove 3.
why?
Because there's a troll with stand firm. And
Oh,
then,
the troll has stand firm.
and then 4 more. So two removals, and there's only 3 on the LOS. If that makes sense. So he needs
Yeah,
to remove
but
3.
I wouldn't be. He's the sort of coach who maybe wouldn't, put some of those more valuable stand firm players on the line.
Right, so
Uh,
the plus strength blitzer might be.
that one, and even the troll, because I don't know. I got that impression that he wouldn't just, do um, his utmost to stop the one turner if it would mean endangering some of his best players.
I think the troll goes on the LOS fairly
Not
regularly
against.
anyway. I think, doesn't it?
Didn't put it. Well, I had Morg against him, and he didn't put the troll on the
Oh,
LO.
that's interesting. Didn't know that.
He put the 3 black orcs on there, and Morg niggled one of them.
Galentio says he needs more guard, which is fair. It is only a 9 guard orc team.
Yeah.
So he's,
An orc team that doesn't have 11 guard is not a proper orc team.
yeah, exactly. He's too short. This double here should probably have been guard instead of dodge, really, shouldn't it? But anyway. Yes, Galentio is behind Ethel, and Ethel hasn't even bet this week. So that's how bad your betting is this week. All right. Anyway, so next game is Ant-Man's Infernal Demon Smith against Lehman Russ's Heisman Boys. Orcs versus Chorfs, and the Chorfs who are famous for getting draws. Ant-Man actually gets inducements, I think. He has 14 players. Still doesn't have a claw to his name. I know how that feels. I had a Chorf team in CCL this last season, and
so sad for all those Chorf players without claws.
I mean, like, it kind of makes the team a bit shitty without it, right?
I mean, at this TV, it definitely it does, especially this kind of matchup.
Yeah. Like the thing that the Chorfs need to make this game equal is claw, and they won't get it unless they can't even induce a claw.
So I'm still going for the Chorfs. I don't know. I feel like they still have 2 good bull centaurs. They can still pose the orcs some problems.
They're only getting 60k of inducements, so not very much. Maybe spending the money on the bribe. Never know. I'm guessing he might do, actually.
Could do.
I've gone for a draw, as have many other people. Only you and Carmack have gone for the Ant-Man win here.
Don't forget, Carmack's a genius.
Carmack is a genius, and Lehman, I think used to be not a great player, but I think he's improved a lot recently. So I would have previously considered betting on Ant-Man because I think Lehman's not that great, but I think he is actually getting good now.
Yeah. Galentio saying that quite a few dodge players the orcs have who, against the Chorfs, that won't be that helpful.
Yeah, true. But vice versa. Wait, a bunch of dodge TV in the orcs. I think the orcs have their own fair share of tackle, and there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 dodges on the Chorfs that are all doubles as well, right?
Are there 4?
Yeah, there's 4 dodges on Chorfs, or hobgoblins and the bull centaurs. You're right. There is a lot of dodge here, though. 5 dodge on on the orcs, and only 2 tackle. Actually, maybe you're right. Maybe that will bite them in the butt. I'm still sticking with the draw. Again, last game of the week is your game. So
Yeah,
let's have a look at Cronky Chops' team first. 1840 TV of Vamps, or
so he's got one of his legend vamps is out, I think.
yeah, he is missing a Vamp this game. He does have 16 players, so no room for a star player if all his players are out, but he will be down to 15 for this game. 1840. And you are on 1530, right? When you get your loaners. Or maybe if you buy a player, then if it's a
It,
lineman, then
yeah, I don't think it's
1520.
worth. I don't think it's worth buying a player. I think I'd rather just spend the excess money on inducements.
Oh, that's okay. Well, wait. That does no that makes no difference then. That's exactly the same either way. All right, fine. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, my level up, Blitzer, rookie Blitzer level up. Um, he rolled a double. So I I think it's just not worth taking Dodge because I mean, Dodge is basically a long-term investment on a player like that. And I'm playing against two teams that have decent amount of tackle. So it's either got to be, I think, Mighty Blow because I no longer have like a Mighty Blow blitzing piece, or tackle because I literally have no tackle against this Vamp team, which is a bit concerning.
But you will have um
I will have a star player who will probably be Buffy.
so that means you don't get wizard.
I think I can get,
260.
what is it, 270 for
Yeah, 270, sorry, for Zara, and then
Aura, and then so 150 on top would be 420, would it?
yeah. Yeah, you can afford it. You just be spending about 100k of your own money.
I mean, because the team is most likely ending its run after this game.
Might, might as well
Quite
spend
happy,
the money. Yeah.
quite happy to spend the money.
Oh,
Uh,
Glentia would say Zara is better than the wizard against Vamps.
yeah, but why not have both? I mean,
Yeah,
I could go Zara and a bribe, another option
yeah.
to have a dirty player. But would you go tackle or mighty blow on the blitzer?
Mighty blow. You can always roll pals.
I mean, because I reckon, it's good to have at least a piece that can target the thralls as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's short term. Mighty blow is good just for doing some damage, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, the two matches I have left are this and Heisman Boys, the Orc team, and this is probably my better chance at winning, even though the Vaps, are obviously a good team.
yeah. You're not going for the Vamps. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't actually think the tactic of just kill thralls actually works very well with Vamps. I think they save their rerolls for the turns where they need them, and then they run past the thralls usually. But
He's got to have a lot. He's got a massive bench as well.
yeah,
But I mean, on certain drives, thinning out his thralls can help towards the sort of the latter stages of the drive where he's got less thralls to kind of help him move the ball or whatever.
a lot of people have actually gone for you, and I'm guessing that is because of um, being a fast team, and Vamps generally bad against humans.
But I don't have much of a team left.
No, what team you do have is movement 8 and 9 and Agi 4, which is pretty useful against Vamps.
Yeah,
Although
but
only,
the lack of tackle is an issue.
yeah, could even just go for score quick and
Yeah. I probably will look to do quite short drives because the Vamps generally don't like um having the ball.
hmm. I actually went for you already, and I'll stick with that. And Pelagius and Galentio are the only ones who went for a draw, and Carmack and Javelin have both gone for the vampires. So
Yeah.
Genius Carmack voting against you there. I think
Well,
you're
you can't be a genius all the time.
you're in trouble. All right, quickly 1B. Let's go. Let's get through this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Go.
I'm in the wrong. And then that. All right, 1B. The first game of the week, he says, waiting for Spike to load. Come on, Spike. Have I lost internet connection? Am I still there? No, I'm still there.
There.
Cool. 1B is Arwen's Arrows against the Gassy Gang. Arwen's Avengers against Gassy Gang. Arwen's Arrows against Dreamland Gaming, I should say. 2-0 to Dreamland. I think it's fair to say I thought Dreamland was a better coach than Arwen when I've played them both. Dark Elves lose a Blodge lineman. Doesn't really matter. Gassy Gang get touchdown on a couple of goats.
So most people went for this result.
Yeah.
So yeah, from top to bottom, Berto,
Yep.
Braculi,
You're
not the genius, also known as Carmack.
no.
I went for this.
Yep.
Uh,
Not Ethelred, I assume, because he didn't. I don't think he voted right.
didn't play at all. Actually, not Palladius, not Galentio. Who else? So Kinroth and Javelin. And
Not
you.
me. Me?
Yes,
okay.
you.
Yeah.
you
Okay.
did.
Think
Actually, sorry, Carmack did go for this. God damn it, I missed him. He was
about
right at the top of the list.
You said Kinroth. I've not done, and
Kinroth, you, and Javelin.
Javelin. Okay, I think I did that right.
And Carmack posthumously.
Yeah, I've added Carmack as well. Not Spider, not Ratamo. All right. Nothing else much to say about this game, I don't think. The next game. Oh, what am I showing on Blood Bowl 2? That's not the right thing to be showing. I'll fix that. No, well, later. I'll fix that now, in fact. Teams, that's something better to look at. The next game was the next game was an admin result. Van Esterlane against Giraffe was a 2-1 to Van Esterlane, so I'm guessing Giraffe missed the game.
All right, okay. So I just add a poop.
Yeah, poop emoji this one out, I guess. I didn't really go onto the forum this week, so I didn't actually see any of that discussion. I can't tell you what happened, although the last comments were from Van Esterlane, so it's probably... yeah, so Giraffe had an emergency and couldn't make the game. And then there wasn't time to play afterwards. All right. Next is
Hulkster against
Monglu. Okay, and this one 2-0 to Hulkster. That is a surprising result. You'd expect Kislev to do well against Lizards usually.
You would, literally to the point where only one person did not bet on Monglu winning, and that was actually Javelin, who went for a draw. So literally no one bet on the Lizards.
The Kislev had 13 blocks in that game, which makes me think.
I think that they probably got murdered.
Yeah, and pretty early on by the looks of it, I guess. Surfed. Hawkster even got sent off, and still, yeah.
Well, he was probably like so far ahead.
Yeah.
That he started fouling.
But no one bet on it, so and there were no permanent injuries or anything else worth mentioning. So let's move on. Okay, next is Ethelred's poor game against Darius.
Yeah.
Ethel didn't stream this, I think. He did complain at some point. I think he just got beaten up, right?
It wouldn't be an Ethelred game if he didn't complain.
I think I looked. I think this was played really early last week, wasn't it? And I think after Ethelred saying his dice were bad, I looked into it and thought he played terribly. So yeah, totally his own fault.
And basically, everyone bet on this result except for Ethelred, who actually. So I think this is the only game that they actually put a bet in for himself.
Ah,
So yeah,
go on then. So what? So Berto,
Berto,
Broccoli.
Cooley, Carmack,
Yep.
myself,
Yep.
Palladius,
Yep.
Valentio,
Yep.
even Gruff,
Even graph.
Javelin,
Yep. Oh no, that was a 2, not a 3. Go on. Yep.
you,
Yeah, of course.
and Spider, and
Oh,
Kinroth. Kinroth and Spider.
Kinroth did get a point. All right, fine. And Spider. All
Yeah,
right. No rat
no,
mode, but
no.
I've added a 0 into Ethereal's thing just to highlight how well he's doing this week. Although obviously it's
Just
probably
make sure that his block is red.
yeah, he might actually get a point this week from the next game. I'm assuming if he bet for himself, he
Yeah.
may have auto bet
Sorry,
against me.
gotta put you on hold for a second. I got a phone call. Hang on.
All right, cool. Well, I'll just do this game anyway, right? So, I got murdered. I actually no. So it started off quite well. I was murdering Ruzi. I actually outbashed him massively. I outbashed him so heavily that I thought it was okay to let him score. And then I got screwed by Sweltering Heat and was an idiot for letting him score, and it was totally my fault. So yeah, it was an awful, awful game by me. My move bust. Ulfwana got Agi bust, and Joseph, one of my dirty players, died. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was pride. It was foolishness rather than pride, and possibly an over expectation of the game carrying on in the same way, or wanting the game to carry on same way. Um, you know, I'd done a lot of removals. I thought I would keep fouling and punching, and then I would get more removals, rather than concentrating on stopping him scoring, which may result in me removing myself. I was worried about evening the score up, but in the end, it was silly of me not to have tried hard to stop him. Yeah, and sweltering heat is an arse, and the exact timing of the sweltering heats were bad, and my LOS hits on my 2 thingies were bad, and the players the sweltering heat actually took out were also like it was May. I can't remember the ball. No, the runner was in. My killer was out, and both guard were out. I think it was like it was like 600 TV of players that got sweltering heated, and they were all good, and left me with not much of a team afterwards. But I can't complain too much because I was lucky to out remove Ruzi in the first half, and I was bad play to not try and stop him more than I did. And he also had 2 players sent off for fouls, which I did not. Oh, and I did. Did I kill? I killed his Yeti. So his block, Mighty Blow, piling on, guard, break tackle Yeti got fouled by me into death. So yeah, sorting it up. Yeah, like it's not usually. It was such so it goes and so it goes. Whatever. I'm not going to. It's one of the many random things in Blood Bowl. I don't think the amount of times it happens and the amount of times it's unbalanced is not actually terrible. Sometimes sometimes it happens, and sometimes it is it's terrible in the way it affects one team, but not that often. It's a fairly rare event, right? Anyway, I did more permanent damage as well. More bad permanent damage. Let me see if I can get up the scores because I've not been doing this while Danton's been in charge. And I think I think Gruff, is that you? Did you vote against me? How dare you? But in alphabetical order, I think it's broccoli, then Palladius, then Gruff and Kinroth. Gruff got 4 points this week. And then Ratimo. Ratimo getting another point off my poor Beleaguer's loss, although stupidity is perhaps a fairer description. All right, so that is this, and a momentary silence for Banger the Legend Yeti, who didn't make it to Legend, unfortunately, and won't. Yeah, it always sweltering heat always feels bad, and you might think I'm always the one that's fucked by sweltering heat, but actually your bias will be in there, right? And like, it's it's not that bad really. All right, I guess I should look at the tables in Blood Bowl 3, and they look like this. I've gone from being at the top to being near the bottom in 2 weeks, I think, or near the top to being near the bottom. Darius is 2 points ahead of Ruzi. It's actually pretty close. And Ruzi is 2 points ahead of Mongloom, who is 1 point ahead of Hogster, who's on the same point as the next 3 teams. So that Scaly Mates down to me is all fairly even. I mean, Ruzi's a good coach. I think. I think it's unfair to suggest that he's not a good coach. And he started off with his North team started off fairly unscathed. Yeah, and then a whole game between me and Arwen's arrows. Well, actually 4 points, and then another point to Ethelred and Giraffe down the bottom. But yeah, it's anyone's game to get demoted and also promoted at the same time. And next season is going to be only 2 divisions in each tier, which means all tiers 3 go up, 3 go down, except champs where 6 go down. So at the moment it's Darius, Ruzi, and Mongloom, but I think the next 2 weeks of games could have a big effect on that. So first is Arwen's Avengers versus Jimmy's Leaping Avengers. So 2 Avenger teams. I and almost everyone else has gone for Mongloom. But that may not, it's without looking at the teams. We all do think that Mongloom is a better coach. I think fairly. There are 11 Dark Elves here. They are going to be at 1700 at least after this skill is taken. Against slightly higher TV Kislev, but not by much. Also on 11 players. Do have a killer. I think generally Kislev are better at against elves. The hybrid against the Agi is usually the way. They do have a Mighty Blow piling on player. And Mongloom's better. I think, any sensible choice would go for Mongloom. The bot favours the Dark Elves, though. And one person's gone for the draw, and that person is Palladius. All right, next is Giraffe against Darius. Oh, yeah. And again, almost everyone has gone for Darius here. Talking of beleaguered, beaten up teams, Giraffe has 11 players, only 1 ghoul, and only 3 of her positionals are actually noticeably leveled. A lot of the TV is in zombies, which is not great. Generally, it's a bit scary. That is 11 players at 1360 against 1930 Nurgle, 2 strength 5, one of them with Claw Mighty Lookout Mummies, as well as the beast. I mean, it looks really bad for poor, and a blocked beast as well. Maybe Giraffe should have another emergency. That means she can't play this game. But the betting heavily in favour of Darius this week. Ethelred and Broccoli, only people to vote for Giraffe. No one going for draw. Next is Gatty Gang against Athletic Lunatics. So we all know Dreamland's Nurgle team. I think they've actually got a killer now. Yep, claw tackle and everything. Level up on Phosphine third. Pretty strong team, 13 players. Against Ruzi's slightly beaten up Norse team. Dreamland owes me a pint for killing his killer Yeti. Ruzi's actually on 1580. So getting 330 TV of inducements. Not very much. And Dreamland's at home, and I think he's got a boring stadium. Yeah. A lot of people have gone for Dreamland, but there's still a few for the draw and a few for Ruzi. Next is my game against Vanessa Lane's Physics Boys. This will be exciting. Vanessa Lane's at home. He has a royal box which doubles all gains and losses of fan factor. Probably increasing the likelihood that you stick to 7 fan factor by this point in the game. 13 players, still with the 4 goblins. A lot of Mighty Blow, which Norse do not like facing. 7 Mighty Blow. A little bit of dodge, which I don't have much tackle. It's gonna be a bad time for me. 1990. I have 12 players at the moment, and we'll be getting 340 TV of inducements. At least. Or maybe not. Maybe I might buy a player. I have gone for myself because I have to. I think all of you that have gone for me are crazy. It's probably going to be a draw at best. I think Ethelred's getting a point. He has actually voted against me this week. All right, and then the last game of the week is Hogster's Scalemates against Ethelred, and this one is ridiculously one-sided against Ethelred, unsurprisingly. Hogster actually has a 60k of bank blow. Maybe he's holding on to it. He's got 11 players for this game. May want to get 12th. That's kind of scary. He does have 2 strength 5 players. Smattering of Mighty Blow, tackle. Tackle on Blodge break tackle is pretty useful in this game as well. Against 1630 of Dark Elves. He's on 10 players. Yeah, Strength 5 Saurus. You might think Strength 5 Saurus are best. I think Spider would suggest that Strength 6 Blodge Sauruses are better. I think if you could get a whole team of Strength 6 Blodge Sauruses, that would probably be the play. But yeah, turns out more strength and Blodge is pretty good. Ethel is getting a wizard. Wait, is Ethel? No, he's not. He's away, so he doesn't. He's the one getting a wizard, and Scalemates are not. Plus a bunch of other inducements. So he's actually at 1700, so he's getting 220 of inducements, so he'll get a wizard and maybe a babe or something. No, can't find more players. Yeah. See, this is he bought his 11th player at the end of last game, and if he hadn't, he'd be on 1100 now. He wouldn't. It wouldn't make any difference. Assuming Chain was the one he bought. Hmm. Yeah, and like, yeah, it's bad, isn't it? Or Daka. I mean, Dark Elves are not the best Dakering team, and I don't think Ethelred is well practiced in the Daka. And I think Hawks is a good coach. But anyway, and there you go. That is that. I was thinking about trying to string this out a little bit longer until maybe Danton got off his call. But I think I will end it there and just raid across to one of the many Blood Bowl streamers who are out at the moment. Purple Chest is doing a 24-hour stream. It's apparently his stream anniversary. Space Cadet is also streaming. Nolicius is streaming. And then someone French who I don't know. I guess because of Purple Chest doing his 24-hour stream, I will raid Purple Chest. But obviously, if you want to go and watch Space Cadet instead, I think that's not a terrible idea. He is a good. Do like Run Bad and raid Sasha Grey. Is there a Sasha Grey? Do they stream what I imagine they stream? I don't know. No, they can't. Not on Twitch. Does Ethelred know? Looking at his team, he might appreciate Sasha Grey's content. I don't know. Goes to have a look at. I'm not going to look at back to the future. Silly. Goes to have a look at if there's a Sasha Grey in. She streams on Twitch now. Okay, it is a she. I've already clicked on the raid. Oh, is she a porn star? She's the ex porn star. Former porn star. Okay, yeah. I remember seeing adverts for her and stuff. Yeah, I'm not raiding her, but I don't dislike porn stars, or I think I think what she does with her living is fine. Great, good for her. Whatever. All right, but I've already started the raid to Purple Chest. Anyone can visit Sasha wherever they like. I might go and have a look now just to see myself. But anyway, goodbye. How much of a delay do I need? No worries, Glentia. Raided.